back again after a few days break. Back again to, of course, work some more on AfterWinter's second album, Boundless. Welcome back to yet another episode of Mixing a Prog Album Live, where we're working on the second AfterWinter album. It's been a few days. Usually can't stream on the weekends. Wasn't able to stream yesterday. So here we are back on a Tuesday to continue work on track 4, Distance, which we need to master, and then jump back into where we were working last week, which was track 5, Time's Embrace. So let's get looking at logic here. There we go. Make sure that all my stuff is working the way it's supposed to. Does look as though it is. All right, so we are looking right now at our mastering template, which does not yet have Distance in it. So if you guys remember, we finished the first draft mix for Distance either in the last episode or I think it was actually the episode before that. Yeah, I think it was that. So probably episode 16 we finished Distance. I try not to master a song on the same day that I've mixed it, just so that I can walk into the song kind of with fresh ears and I'm not sick of the song or my ears aren't tired or anything like that. And we are still talking about first draft stuff here, but still. So let's go ahead and get our song imported. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay. That's an interesting noise. That's definitely not supposed to be happening. Let's figure out where that's coming from. What have I routed wrong? Ah, yes, I see it. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. That probably means you guys didn't hear that. I hope that. That was a pretty nasty noise that just happened in Logic right there. You may have heard kind of through my mic, but luckily I don't think that came through the stream. I had accidentally routed the pre-master bus into itself. But now we fixed that. Okay, yes. So now let's import our audio. Here we go. We can get rid of it. This is an old update we can get rid of now. So we'll just go ahead and import our pre-master 1 with the tempo markers and the arrangement markers so that we are looking at the right thing. Yes, yes indeed we are looking at our distance mix. Okay, let's start by setting our export range, because sometimes I forget to do that. So we're going to go to the beginning of the song, right where there's noise. Excuse me, zoom way in. Set a really, really millisecond. We also need to zoom in. We need to identify the moment in the song that the audio has fully stopped. Okay, apparently I don't have anything figured out today. So why didn't I hear that? Oh, because I muted the stereo out earlier. Okay. At least that one was my fault. I'll take something I did wrong over a electric malfunction. Okay, probably about right there, or even maybe a little before, right? So again, we're going to go into like milliseconds we're talking about. Set a Okay, now that we've compressed each individual thing, we need to mix with the faders. Now, this is the reason I've separated these onto 4 separate buses, because one instance of a multipressor could do what we just did. I've put them on their own buses so that I have volume faders for each frequency range that we can then mix together. So I'm gonna take one frequency range down at a time and mix it back up where I think it ought to be. I usually end up back at 0 or pretty close. Which is a good indication we've done a pretty good job mixing, but it's important to do this with your ears and not with your eyes. So it's important to note that I'm not looking to go back to 0 or close. I'm looking to put this where it feels like it should be. Let's do this with a chorus and then we'll check a different part. Okay, there we go. Yeah, important to check lots of different parts of the song. I had the low mids and the high mids scooped a lot more when we were just paying attention to the chorus. But then when I went back to the verse, it was like the rhythm guitars had disappeared. Okay, so not too bad there. A little different than we've done the other ones, though. The low frequencies ended up at 0, the low mids and high mids at negative 0.5, and the high at positive 0.5. So that's interesting. All right, next step is to and kind of see where this hits now.
Lost in the drift, I know not where I've been or where I'm going. Wasted away, life left to right. I've checked the score and at it.
Yep, okay, so both things at -5 now, that's good. Now we also need to check our compressor. The VBC FG Red here is doing compression on the overall channel here, just to kind of safety net and make sure that nothing's slipping through. This is running in dual mono again, compressing each individual side by itself. Same settings, but the different amounts of compression based on what comes through that speaker. So let's check that same spot again and just see where we are. The makeup gain is turned up about 2.5 right here, so we'll kind of see what that's doing.
Wasted away, life left to right.
Okay, so it's a little too much. Let's try it at 2 instead of 2.5.
Wasted away, life left to right.
Okay, still a little too much. Let's try it at 1.
Wasted away, life left to right. I've checked.
Okay, yep, I can deal with 5, that is for sure. 5.2 is where we ended right there. All right, so then all that's left then is to kind of check what the FGX2 is doing. This is our limiter. We want to be seeing the LUFS meter hit right around -7. The problem with looking at that is it seems like every time I turn the FX2 on, or every time I bring it up on screen, the stream seems to suffer really bad. And in watching back some of the episodes, even like the video will start getting choppy and the audio will start seeming like I'm in fast forward. It really messes the stream up to have that FX2 up. So let's try and do this fast. I'm going to start the song playing, bring up the FX, see where that LUFS meter is hitting, try and do it fast. If it's hitting around where we are, we'll turn it off, hopefully before it can negatively affect the stream.
Lost in the drift, I know not where I've been or where I'm going. Wasted away, life left to right. I've checked the score and added up to nothing. Just stay away, I'm so far from what I.
Okay, that took a little longer than I was hoping, but yeah, even my computer is struggling. The mouse is being weird. Easy here.
I'm going, wasted away, life left to right. I've checked the score and added up to nothing. Just stay away, I'm so far from what I thought I had.
That's definitely not bad, but there is a lot of snare in that, isn't there? Okay, we should be back now. Right? Yeah, looks like it. Let's see where we were with this, because I definitely don't quite remember. Okay, we must have finished our context mix, and we were getting ready to start sound detail. Based on the look of everything here. Okay. Yeah, I'm really glad this is where we're at, too. This is coming along. This is coming along. Considering the amount of other things I've got going on at the same time, this is still coming along pretty well. I was really worried this was going to take a while because there's just so much going on, but I was really excited about getting this done, so I wanted to add this to the list, even though it was, you know, almost too much. But, yeah, track 5 is basically halfway, so we're doing good. All right, so let's dive in here. Now that we're about halfway through, I think I am going to try and explain things a little bit less. I have been continuing to explain things just in case new people are here that haven't seen previous episodes and don't know what I'm doing. But now that we're about halfway through, I think, unless somebody specifically asks, so if you're watching right now and you have a question, please do feel free to ask and I will explain anything as well as I'm capable of explaining. But I think I want to try and kind of dig in a little bit more and talk a little bit less, at least from an explanation point of view. At least some of the time. I'm not going to guarantee that, because sometimes I do talk on purpose to let my ears calm down. Like now. I want to kind of like give my ears a little bit of a rest before we jump into this. So sometimes I'm talking a lot because of that. But I want to talk a little bit less because I think people don't understand. You know what I mean? We've explained it a bunch of times. Most of you in here have watched other stuff before. This isn't new information for you. So we'll just kind of work a whole bunch here, hopefully. All right. I think our kick and snare stuff is good. We're going to start right in on Tom's stuff, on the stuff here on our Tom's master. Let's take a look at how the toms look in this song. Right, we've got that... Okay, let's get some multi-pression here on these toms. Ooh. We have not turned the limiter on, have we? Nope, that needs to turn on now. Okay. Need to put that up so that you guys can hear it pretty well. Okay. Back to where we were.
Nothing
watching more Tom stuff here.
Unaffected by the grip of time's embrace, means nothing to me now.
Okay. Okay, I think we got our toms going good, at least for the moment. Let's jump to our overheads.
The world stands still. This young life knows no. Ever on and on, we march to the unchanging rhythm of the unseen clock. Ever on and on, we march to the unchanging rhythm. Through the grains of sand fall surely, I see only one.
Okay, we got our instance of soothe on there too, but if you guys remember, that's for the hi-hat. We shouldn't need that, at least at the moment. Let's set up our drums crush. So this is the part of the song where things really start sounding different, especially from a drumming point of view. This is where the drums suddenly start sounding punchy and snappy and really cool. So the first thing we need to do is solo that. Take a quick listen and make sure that the mix on that is okay. It's going to sound real weird. Mostly snare, that's what we want. I want to hear some toms. Okay. Let me give us a little bit more in the toms reverb. Okay. Now we need to get that signal mixed in under the actual drums. And it is set where it has been for all the other ones, so theoretically it should be fine as is.
Ever on and on, we march to the unchanging rhythm of the unseen clock. We know not when our time is up. Through the grains of.
Okay, yep, good with the sound. So next thing we need to do, give the whole song a listen front to back so that we can check the peak level meter on the drum's master. It needs to be no higher than -7. Usually it ends up around 4. Now for consistency's sake, I kind of hope it does also end up around 4. So let's go ahead and take ourselves a lesson here. Awesome. Yeah, those drums sound really cool. We did only get up to 6.2, so it's still above 7, but I was honestly hoping we'd peak a little higher so that we would kind of have an excuse to put the drums in the same place they normally end up. Okay, well, we only wanted at 7, so we will turn them down a little less than normal, and we will adjust accordingly. So we really only need to take everything down 1 decibel here instead of 3, which is our norm. And then we need to turn on our Black Salt audio drum bus so we can make sure that it again is not peaking above 7. Unfortunately, I didn't see where it hit 6.2. I was quite sure we were going to have a peak later on, and then we didn't, which is kind of funny. So let's kind of check out like the first verse and the first chorus and kind of see where we hit there.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time. Ever on and on, we march to the unchanging rhythm of the unseen clock. We know not when our time is up. Though the grains of sand fall surely, I see only one thing clearly. My heart beats only for you, only for you. Face to face, I'm unaffected by the grip of time's embrace. Means nothing to me now. Later days, these years took their toll.
We are having some interesting stuff on this one. This one's acting different than all the other songs so far. Wild. Okay, I want to see something just out of curiosity. When we put these back up at 0 and we turn that Black Salt audio drum bus off, is it that high tom at the end of the first chorus that hits 6.5?
Nothing to me now.
Yes, 6.2, but yes, it is. Okay. And then if we turn these down by 1, that same spot should now hit 7.2.
Nothing to me now.
That is correct. And with our Black Salt audio drum bus, that spot hits
Face means nothing to me now.
7.8. So yes, we need to turn up this as well. Okay, basically we might as well put that at 0. Should get us 7.1, I think.
Face means nothing to me now.
Okay, I think that tom is a little bit loud too. Ironically, we'll probably end up turning that tom down. And also, the drums seem a little bit louder than everything else now, probably because we didn't turn them down as much as we usually end up doing. Where are we hitting over here? 7.4. Okay, so we probably don't want to get too much louder, although it's probably the drums contributing to that. Let's actually physically bring the drums down just a little bit more so that they're more at a level like the previous songs.
World stand still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time.
Okay. Hey, let's go ahead and check. I think Eli's hitting hi-hat in that verse, I think.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our soothe thing. So we have that instance of soothe on our overhead master, which we can turn on and off whenever we want to help tame hi-hats, because our hi-hats are just, they're really, what's the right word? What aggressive, I guess is the right word here. So what we've been doing here is we've been turning on a track envelope for that soothe, because it takes a little too much out of the cymbals just generally. We only want that thing on when there is hi-hat to be taken care of. And we've also been doing the mix, because he's hitting cymbals and stuff maybe in there where he's hitting hi-hat, and we don't want it to get rid of, and sometimes it gets a little too much rid of the hi-hat. So let's kind of put our mix at 50-50. We're going to turn that plug-in on just for the verse, put our mix at 50-50 so that we're still getting a good amount of the other stuff too.
born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time.
Okay, so there's a little section in there where he's hitting crash ride instead of the hi-hat. Whoops, I didn't do that right. So we want to turn the bypass back off during that. Or turn it back on, rather. Turn the plug-in off.
Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time.
Okay, I think the chorus is good. He's hitting some hi-hat in there, but it's kind of like as a double thing. So we pretty much just need to do the other verse the same way. In this section where he's on crash ride needs to come back on. You know what we should do for this now that I'm thinking about it? I don't think we need this mix envelope. I think we can just set the mix to about, that was like 65%. We'll just set it to 65, basically, yeah. And then we don't need an envelope for it. Good. And then if any other hi-hat sections pop out while we're listening to other sections, we've got that set up and ready to knock it out real quick. All right, moving into the bass. All we've got extra on this is a channel EQ of stuff that the mid-range bandpass told us we should have. Let's kind of check out what that's doing.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays.
Okay, good with that until we get to the mid-range bandpass. Might necessitate some of that being on or adjusted. On to the guitars. Good with the channel EQ and the multi-pression. We can check the multi-pressure real fast. The verse is a good spot to do that.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life, through the grains of sand fall surely, march to the unchanging rhythm of the unseen clock. We know not when our time is up.
Okay, activating when we palm mute and not activating when we don't. I'm just now getting here. Did you announce what guitars were used for this song? Oh no, you know what? I totally didn't. A couple of guitars on this one. Let me think about this here for a second. So the rhythms would have been this. If we're talking about standard tune for me, this was the standard tune rhythm guitar for the whole album. So 7-string Jackson SLAT. I've had this since probably 2016, I think. Decadence Divine would have been the first album it was actually used on. James probably did his ESP LTD on this one. Either that or the Sterling John Petrucci guitar. The solos, I've only got one of the guitars in this room. The main guitar solo in this song was the blue Sterling guitar that I've been playing a whole lot recently. If anybody in here has seen pictures of me playing with the cover band Shot of Whiskey that Eli and I are both in, chances are you've seen me with that blue guitar. That's the main solo. The little tiny solos that we're hearing in the verse, however, were this good old guitar right here. This was my main guitar for years and years and years and years. The Jackson Soloist, 6-string here. This thing was, I've had this since I was 16. Long time. Long time. This guitar still feels the most at home in my hands of any guitar that I own, which it ought to. I used it as my main guitar for more than a decade, you know what I mean? So the little short solos in the verses were this one. The other one was a blue Sterling that I think is in a case downstairs at the moment. Yeah. The tattoo guitar, that's right, yes. I do have, I might as well say 2 guitars tattooed on this arm, and that yellow one is one of them. Now, the color has faded out of it. The other one is the one that I showed in the Forgotten Wanderer video, the pointy one that we used to call the pitchfork. Yes. All right, on our Rhythm Guitars master track, we have a multipressor, which is probably good as is, but let's definitely check it. We definitely want more low end taken out of those palm muted sections in the verse.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays.
Dad says, didn't you say the last song had the Iceman in it? Yes. Distance. On Distance, your Black Iceman played the leads in both of the breaks in that one. Yeah. I tried to use a lot of different guitars on this album, as long as it was the right sound. But I figure I've got so many. I might as well be using them. And Dad played the Axe bass. Yeah, the Axe bass was on Distance. This one would have been the Ibanez 5-string, I think, this song. But Distance would have been the 4-string Axe bass. Did James play the Sunburst Les Paul? No. I don't think that guitar made an appearance. Dad would be talking about this right here, the Ace Frehley Les Paul, which we got recently. I don't think this has been recorded yet, actually, now that I think about it. We need to get that on the next one somewhere for sure. All right, let's take a look at our compressor settings. Probably see a little bit more compression in the verse than the chorus, I would think, but maybe not.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life, know not when our time is up. Through the grains of sand fall surely, I see only one thing clearly.
Maybe just a hair too much compression in that verse.
Born anew, the world stands still. Years go by.
Okay, and we've got a channel EQ here. Right, cutting at 70 for the bass drum and the bass guitar, cutting at 280, which was probably a mid-range bandpass thing, cutting at 6,000 for a little bit of harshness.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time. Ever on and on.
Okay, we lessened the cut at 70 just a little bit. It did seem like the guitars disappeared. And then our last thing is just a little bit of extra aggression at 6,500.
We march to the unchanging rhythm of the unseen clock. We know not.
Yep, okay, good with that. On our clean guitars master. Yeah, we pulled in everything from Poison in the Well, so we should be good with all that stuff. Let's take a look at our multipressor. Creepy door squeak. Mess with the rhythm guitars a little bit there too. Okay, looking at our pianos, we got a reverb we need to get turned on, then multipressor, compressor, and channel EQ on this as well. See, we can hear the piano fairly well in the verses. Let's set that reverb there.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain.
Okay, that's right. I didn't send the music box to the piano reverb because I liked the reverb as it was. Okay. All right, so let's check on our multipressor and everything. What are our pianos doing in this song? Mostly just the verses. Okay, good to know.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time. The world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Still, this young life knows no pain.
Okay, let's take a look at strings now. Again, we've got a reverb we need to put in there. Mostly chorus stuff looks like for the strings.
Ever on and on, we march to the rhythm of the unseen clock. We know not when our time is up. Though the grains of sand fall surely, I see only one thing clearly. My heart beats only for you.
Okay, good with that. The only thing we didn't turn on there was our channel EQ that helps the orchestra sit better with the piano. I ended up turning it off the piano too. Those two things actually never mix in this song. Yep. So there's no reason for them to have that EQ that lets them both cut through. I think the synth master is fine as is, honestly. I don't think we need to mess with that. There's only the one track on there, so no need for compression or multipressing or anything like that. Let's move over into the leads. I want to check the leads first off. I'm good with our channel EQ that's already on there. This is interesting, though. I want to turn those two things off. This is the Jackson soloist lead, which I've lost. Oh, it's that one.
Years go by, a child still. Years go by.
Okay. I'm trying to decide if we need the multipressor there. I didn't hear any palm muting in that one. Or was I not paying attention? No palm muting there. What about in the other one? Yeah, so no need for the multipressor, I think, in that one. Then, of course, we've got our normal Soothe plugin helping us get rid of any annoying high frequencies. Let's check the actual guitar solo for any palm muting. I think there is some. Good with that. Let's take a look at our multipressor on the leads master. We shouldn't need this compressor. There's no point where the two lead channels play together, so we should be good on that. Let's take a look at this channel EQ, which is probably mid-range bandpass stuff. Sure is. So a pretty hefty drop at 282 and a little boost at 1200, which would probably do both of these things good, particularly the soloist. Let's see if we can get through these last couple of things here really quickly. Already know that I'm good with all the stuff on the lead vocals. Majenica's and mine have been set really well for several songs. So let's take a look at the lead vocals master. We've got the de-esser, which we should be fine to just turn that on and let it do its thing. We definitely want to check the multipressor. And we are going to need a regular compressor on this too, because Majennica and I's lead vocal do sing at the same time. Okay, so we'll set that. We'll turn it off for now, but we're going to set it here in a minute. Let's take a look at the multipressor first.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by, a child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time.
This one's got a lot of vocals in it, so we definitely want to check this stuff careful.
Face to face, I'm unaffected by the grip of time's embrace.
Okay. Okay, so we want to set up this compressor here.
Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Born anew, the world stands still. This young life knows no pain.
Okay, and finally we have a channel EQ, which is mid-range bandpass stuff.
The world stands still. This young life knows no pain.
Okay, good with all that. Let's check our background vocals. Quite a bit of background vocals in this too. So we've got our de-esser, we've got a multipressor which we want to check, and let's see. Yeah, I think I want to check this in the chorus.
Time is up. Through the grains of sand fall surely. I see only one thing clearly. My heart beats only for you. Only for you. Face to face, I'm unaffected by the grip of time's embrace. Means nothing to me now. A child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time. Time is up. Through the grains of sand fall surely. I see only one thing clearly. My heart beats only for you. Only for you. Face to face, unaffected by the grip of time's embrace. Only for you. Face to face, unaffected by the grip of time's embrace. Unaffected by the grip of time's embrace. Years go by, The child still plays, unscathed by the passage of time.
Okay. And finally a channel EQ as well. Probably, yep, mid-range bandpass stuff.
The world stands still. This young life knows no pain. Years go by.
Okay. Yep, pretty good with that. And the clock. Yeah, the clock is the only other track, and I'm good with the way that sounds already. There's not much going on when it happens. There's no reason to affect the sound effects master with anything. It's just the clock. So I think we're good on that. Awesome. Okay, well, let's go ahead and call it there for today. When we come back, the next thing we are going to be doing is our mid-range bandpass listen. So I'll go ahead and turn that on now to hopefully help me remember when we do this next that that's where we are. We need to listen to the whole song with the mid-range bandpass on so that we can determine if things are slotting together perfectly so that this mix translates well across all the different systems. You guys probably know the deal with that by now, but that is where we're going to be at when we come back next. So we have almost finished the second big chunk for this song, Sound Detail. And everything's sounding pretty good so far. I think everything is slotting together fairly well. There's definitely some things jumping out at me that we're going to want to fix in the volume detail phase, but I think this one is coming together pretty well already. All right. So probably no stream tomorrow unless I have a big chunk of cancellations and students. At the moment, I know there's not time, but who knows? Something could happen. We'll find out when we get there. All right, guys, so no matter whether you're watching right now, whether you were watching before, whether you're watching this in the future when it's not live, I and everybody in AfterWinter appreciate every second of time any of you spend checking this stuff out, listening to our music. By the way, everything we've ever released is on Apple Music, Spotify, all that different stuff, YouTube. You can find lots of stuff if you're looking for our previously released music. It is all over the place. This one will be there as well when it's finished, so please feel free to go check that stuff out. But any second of time you devote to listening to that stuff, checking out these streams, hanging out here, we really hope that you enjoy what you see, enjoy what you hear. We hope that maybe it's a little bit educational even, or at least it's neat to watch an album kind of come into sounding the way it sounds once it's released. At least I think so. I hope everybody else does as well. One more time, thank you guys so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. And we will see you in the next one, hopefully on Thursday.